Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear guests, listeners, we have privilege to present speakers in different languages. Since morning, we are listening in different languages such as Urdu, Arabic and Bengali. Now time to present a speaker who will speak in English about Muhaddith Naseerudin Albani being a Muhaddith and Mujaddid. So I want to present my brother Abrar from Kalimpong. Please proceed to dais.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. To the esteemed guests on the dais and to all the students of Jamiatul Albani, I would like to say Assalamu alaikum. I would like to thank the Mudir of the Jamia, Sheikh Muti Rahman, that he has made this conference and a seminar at the time where a storm has started from the lobby of Ahlul Ra'i, Madrasat Ahlul Ra'i, upon maligning Sheikh Naseerudin al-Albani, and which happens to come from the neighboring country. And if I take the name Mufti Taqi Uthmani, which goes on to say that what right does Albani have in authenticating or rejecting any hadith? And as our Sheikh Ashfaq Salafi Hafizahullah Ta'ala beautifully presented, and we should know that throughout Islamic history, that the tussle and the difference between the Madrasa Ahlul Hadith and Madrasa Ahlul Ra'i has been started since a long time. And we don't have to go very far. For example, before I get into the topic of Sheikh Al-Albani being a Muhaddith and a Mujaddid, if we ask from the Madrasa Ahlul Ra'i that the son of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, Abdullah ibn Ahmad ibn Hanbal, in Kitab al-Sunnah, he has the whole chapter on Imam Abi Hanifa and his jarh upon him. So what does Taqi Uthmani have to say about the A'imma jarh wa ta'deel, of his rejecting the aqwal and the opinion of the A'imma and the Muhaddithin upon Abu Hanifa? Hatta Imam Abdullah ibn Ahmad ibn Hanbal said, Sa'altu Abi an Abi Hanifa. Man Abi? Who is his father? Ahmad ibn Hanbal. And also, from the likes of Sheikh Muqbil bin Hadi al-Wadi'i, what does he say? He brings and narrates the aqwal of the madaris of Ahlul Ra'i. What does Taqi Uthmani and the lobby of the Ahnaf has to say about it? Where he brings Nashr al-Sahifa في جرح الصحيح على أبي حنيفة. What does he say about this? And likewise Sheikh Rais Nadwi's book اللمحات في إما أنوار الباري من الظلمات brings the aqwal of the A'imma al-Jarh wa Ta'deel upon Abu Hanifa. So this tussle between the madaris and the scholars of Ahlul Hadith, of Sunnah and Athar, and the Ahlul Ra'i has been since a long time. So it's something new. And as expected from the Ahnaf, they will always have adawa, enmity towards the Nasir al-Sunnah. Because the Nasir al-Sunnah, who gives victory to the Sunnah, are from the, whoever has enmity and adawa towards them are the Ahlul Bid'ah wa Dalala, the people of innovations and deviations. If you talk about Sheikh Albani rahimahullah ta'ala, may Allah's mercy upon him, Sheikh Albani was born in 1914 during the First World War. And he was born at a time where liberalism and communism and atheism and ilhad was on the rise in Albania, though it being a Muslim country. So his father, Al-Hajj Nuh, takes them, and being a scholar of the Hanafi madhab, and being a very strong lover of Islam, it takes Albani, Sheikh Naseerudin Albani, the family to Syria, to Damascus. And Sheikh Albani learned Nahu, wa Sarf, wal Balagha, and Usul, and Fiqh, and Hadith, and Tafsir, all from his father, who happened to be a scholar. And under many mashaykh. And Sheikh Albani rahimahullah, then he started to read on his own, an individual research. And as you know, and the mashaykh have mentioned, the Sheikh Albani rahimahullah got influenced by Majallat al-Manar, the Al-Manar magazine by Rashid Rida. And he got influenced by the maqalat where he used to do naql of Al-Iraqi, who happened to be the teacher of Ibn Hajar, and the jarh upon Al-Ghazali. As you know, that Sheikh Albani was a Muhaddith, and how he was a revival. Number one, a revival of the Hadith sciences, the Usul al-Hadith, and the scrutiny of Hadith, jarh wa ta'deel, and the Usul. And Albani's most significant contribution was his rigorous work in the science of Hadith, in Mustalah al-Hadith. And his meticulous approach helped revitalize the study of Hadith. So there has been the contemporary and traditional study of Hadith. So Sheikh Albani comes, and what does he do? He makes revival. That's the reason we say he is a mujaddid also. Because there used to be a widely accepted hadith which are da'if in the ummah. Albani comes and analyzes and examines the isnad and the narrations of hadith, and looks at the ilal of the matan as well as the isnad. The problems in the chain of narration, that's the isnad, and as well as in the matan, the text of the hadith. And he was an expert in ilal, an expert in knowing the asma'ul rijal, the ru'at al-hadith, the narrators of hadith. And this is the jawab and the answer for those that Albani is not worthy and does not hold authority. How can he not hold authority when he knew the asma'ul rijal at the back of his hand, and he knew the ilal of hadith? So how can someone say such things? And he used to promote the manhaj al-salaf, al-manhaj al-salafiyya, from his most famous books, which has been mentioned earlier, Tahdir al-Sajid, liman ittakhad al-qubur al-masajid, warns people from making qubur and graves inside the masajid, or to removing the graves, that your salah is batil and your prayer is batil, it is nullified if you happen to pray in a masjid which has qubur and graves. And this is the reason he was hated for. He also had critical approach to the traditional fiqh. And we have the fiqh. One, we learn the fiqh through the madhab. And we have the other way, that's the way of the Ahlul Hadith, from studying fiqh from the Ahadith al-Ahkam. Like we do tadarruj from Umdah to Bulugh to Abu Dawood and Kutub al-Sitta we go to. Whereas the Ahlul Ra'i, they study fiqh based on and the usul is derived from the aqwal of their a'imma. So he was someone who used to criticize. And this had, even if to be from the Hanafi background or somebody from the Hanbali, they would not like Albani. Anyone who's a fanatic, muta'assib, muqallid, and a blind follower of any of the madahib, even the tasmi'at that you call yourself a Shafi'i, you call yourself a Hanafi, you call yourself a Malik or a Hanbali, Sheikh Albani was very strictly opposed to this. And this is the reason. And this is the reason, for example, you have the Matan Dalil al-Talib and you have the Sharh Manar al-Sabil. Now, Sheikh Albani comes and does takhrij and detailed work and the scrutiny in that book of Manar al-Sabil, which angered the people who happened to come from the Hanbali background. Why? Because he criticized and said, you cannot do istikhraj al-ahkam from hadith da'if. You cannot derive rulings from the hadith which is weak. And Albani was not somebody who is to be new on this. And even if he had infiradat, which Aimah does not have infiradat, an individual stance on a mas'ala. Like I would like to ask Taqi Uthmani and his followers and the people of Madhab, doesn't Yunus Jaunpuri have infiradat? What did Yunus Jaunpuri's students say before he died? One of the students of Yunus Jaunpuri, Mufti Yunus Hans, he met me in Gujarat. He told me on a personal level that Yunus Jaunpuri died upon Salafiyya and said, I am dying upon the manhaj of Salafiyya. What do you have to say about this then? So just because somebody has an individual stand in infiradat on some mas'ala, on some issue, does not reject the scholarly authority of that scholar, whether it be Shaykh Albani or anyone. And his Silsilat al-Ahadith al-Da'ifa, Silsilat al-Ahadith al-Sahiha, and all of those books happen to be, till date, the evidence that Albani was a person who was an expert in the field of hadith, whether it be usul al-hadith, or whether it be in the scrutiny of the hadith, that is jarh wa ta'dil, whether it be finding the problems in the isnad, from the ilal in the isnad or the ilal in the matan. He was an expert on this. And Sheikh Albani, due to this, and he happened to study for 18, 19 hours a day, and without getting into any politics. In spite of that, in 1960s, he was imprisoned in Qilat al-Dimashq in Syria, in the same prison where Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, Shaykh al-Islam, was imprisoned. Subhanallah. And again he was taken out after a month, and again put in the 1970s again into the other prison in Syria itself. Why? Did he speak anything against political, any countries, any laws? No. Because he was a person who used to say ar-ruju' ila an-nusus, that you return back to the text and the understanding of Qurun al-Mufaddala, the understanding of the three best generations of Sahaba, Tabi'in, Atba' Tabi'in. This is the only. And he used to hold that the hadith is the hujjah in aqidah and as well as fiqh. That we cannot blind follow a madhab. And Shaykh Albani rahimahullah, due to my time, I have to make ikhtisar. He died at the age of 84, leaving behind the legacies. And anyone who wants to know his audios, it's in more than 900 hours in YouTube by Silsilat al-Huda wan-Nur. Silsilat al-Huda wan-Nur, which is on YouTube. If you can find, more than 900 hours of the dars of the Shaykh is present in the YouTube. وهذا وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
MashaAllah, Sheikh Abrar Basit, may Allah bless you and your family for these valuable words about Muhaddith Allama Muhammad Naseerudin Al-Albani. Thank you, Lord. سعادة الشيخ عبد اللطيف الكاتب حفظه الله وضيوفنا الأعزاء في هذه الفترة الثانية من المؤتمر، اليوم أنا أعبر عن مشاعري الرقيقة وأحاسيسي الفريدة، وأظهر فرحي وسروري بقدومكم في رحاب جامعة الإمام الألباني.